Hello everyone, welcome to my presentation. Today the content is my classroom management plan. So first I would like to introduce my class cohort and the teaching context. So in this context, I teach a year 6 class in Northern Territory, Australia. And in this class I have 24 students, roughly 50% of boys and 50% girls. Their background are diverse. 40% of these students grew up in Northern Australian families, and the rest are from indigenous. They also from Nepal, China, Greek, and Philippines. And among these students, there is one boy with autism. So knowing my students' needs will help me to create a safe and productive learning environment for everyone. Before the lesson begin, I would like to have my student to join Shake Up Wake Up. This is a 15 to 20 minute session to help my student kickstart both their mind and body. During this time, they can play games like dodgeball or tag. Students who prefer not to play, I will encourage them to have a walk around the school campus. This activity will help all students settle and energize them and prepares them to be active during lesson. Okay, and the second step is about setting clear expectations and giving instructions during lesson. It is crucial to give clear instructions and ensure students understand them. Planning what students will do and explaining it before the activity starts will help prevent confusion. For example, when I carry out a task that require my student to roll 2 dice 25 times in order to find the total of the result and then calculate the probability of each total, then I will clearly explain to them about how to do the experiment, how to record results and store their work, and whether they should work in group, in pairs, or individually. So this may be a bit too detailed to go through, but it will help avoid confusion and will help students meet expectations of the task. Students can also signal if they need clarification, and I have set up this to a signal system of 3 positions using your thumb. So if they give me finger up, which means they understand, the finger in this position, which means they're a bit hesitate or they're unsure, and when the finger points down, it is time for me to explain it again to them. So besides using this signal system, I also avoid asking questions such as do you understand or are you okay, because students often answer yes automatically to those kind of questions, which may hide confusion. Clear instructions and cues are far more effective. Okay, moving to the difference in student ability, there are always some students who are eager to contribute their idea, while the others are more hesitant and not yet to fully confident in sharing their ideas and conclusions. In order to prevent higher ability students to spoil the answer, which might prevent the students at the lower level to share their ideas, I will give really firm rules such as raise your hand to earn a turn to speak or never cut someone's word. This ensures that the more capable students are patient and allow their peers to catch up. Okay, about attention signals and transitions. Besides preparing rules and expectations, a teacher's words are completely wasted if students are not paying attention. Therefore, I established a signal for students to recall their focus after discussions or activities that require oral communication, such as working in pairs or groups. This is not only save a lot of teachers' energy, as there is no need to talk loudly, but also help students easily understand instructions and explanations. Maintaining attention is the key. So I use consistent signals for transitions and regaining focus. The first strategy is countdown 3, 2, 1. The 3 seconds amount of time will give students long enough to finish discussions and refocus so that their brains have time to process and respond before making a choice for the upcoming activity. The other strategy that I prefer to use is using a random word with an action. For example, I would say book with my hand on the head. This signal will recall my students' focus and bring them back to my word. And as I said, these methods will help teachers save energy, reduce shouting, and ensure instructions are received clearly. The next part is about organizing group effectively. It is an important part of managing a classroom. Every student has friends that they would like to work with, but that can easily lead to distractions, with students joking around instead of focusing. To keep everyone interacting with different classmates, I change the groups randomly each week. But this randomness needs to follow some rules. Some pairs or small groups just should not be put together, as they might cause problems or even arguments during class. In order to do this well, I will watch students who shouldn't be put together and make a note of it. One simple rule I often use is partner with someone of the opposite gender. This way, students are less likely to get distracted by their best friends or get into conflict with someone they don't get along with. I also established a reward system to encourage my students in lessons. I completely understand that not every lesson is exciting. That's why having a reward system is important to encourage them to participate in class activities or maintain good behavior. My strategies for this year 6 setting is giving points for correct behavior or good idea they share during lesson. For example, I always ask my students in the morning to unstack their chairs, bring their pencil case out, and also their lesson book. So whoever finishes fast, 3 first students to sit on the mat will get a reward of 100 points. And when I give them the point, I will try to say as loud as I can so that the other teammates know that, oh, there is someone doing well in the class and they get rewarded. So we should follow them. That's exactly what I want them to think when I try to say the amount of points I give to the other students loudly. Another point I want to emphasize is that students need to be given points immediately when they carry out the good behavior or a wonderful idea. After all, this reward system is to keep students engaged in the lesson. Getting praise right away will help maintain their positive mood and motivation. This is much more effective than giving a reward at the end of the lesson. For example, if I say, okay everyone, that's the end of our lesson. Everyone who answered my question today will have 100 points. Of course, the student will still feel rewarded, but we totally go to another different way. We no longer have the primary purpose of this reward system, which is to keep the student engaged in the learning material. because all of their enthusiasm has been faded. Right, moving to diversity and student well-being. When I first experienced the education setting in Australia, especially in the Northern Territory, I became very aware of the cultural diversity of students. In Year 6, more EALD students usually have solid language foundation and have adapted well to the school culture. However, there are still some students who are quiet and find it difficult to build relationships with both peers and teachers. So in these cases, the teacher needs to take an active role in creating opportunities for communication and guide other classmates to interact with the student with special needs in language. For students with autism, I always pay close attention to my interactions with them. For me, this is like climbing a mountain. Before putting all my weight on the hold, I want to make sure that it is secured. This requires careful observation of the student's reactions to my instructions. This autistic student enjoys drawing and often completes only half of the given task before getting distracted by his drawing. I usually approach him gently, assess his work, and remind him how far he has progressed and what still needs to be completed. Strict or rigid instructions should be avoided in such cases. In order to apply the above strategies, the above plan, I use a plan, implement, and review approach. In the plan step, I set learning goals, behavior expectations, and individual support strategies. And while implement the plan, I will deliver lessons using clear instructions, attention cues, and structured group, as well as utilizing reward system. And after having implemented the plan, I will move to the review section. I will do the reflection after class in order to find out which point I can adjust in my strategies, as well as gather student feedback about the lesson. With the information I gathered, I also send it to my mentor or senior to receive professional feedback, which will help me to improve how I will apply my plan in the upcoming lessons, as well as how to revise it to make it more suitable for my students. And this cycle will help ensure continuous improvement and responsive teaching. The recent research on classroom management and student well-being provides important insights for teachers, especially those at the beginning of their careers. I could not make this plan without have a look into the research conducted by the other senior. For example, Woodcock and Riopter in 2024 found that first-year primary teachers frequently use rewards, preventative strategies, and differentiated instruction, and they felt most confident in implementing these strategies. In contrast, low-level corrective and instructive approaches were less effective, which means they are less used. However, Lazarus et al. In 2020 found that teacher confidence strongly influenced their classroom management, particularly early in their careers. Teachers' self-efficacy tends to increase as they gain professional experience through successful teaching practice. Meanwhile, Hossain et al. 2023 identified multiple domains of well-being grouped into 8 categories, including emotions, relationships, interpersonal development, and purpose at school, emotional and relational domains are most frequently studied, while purpose and interpersonal aspects receive less attention. So, due to the vague in evaluating students' well-being and classroom management, students, schools, and teachers still need better tools to measure student well-being comprehensively and incorporate students' perspectives. As a pre-service teacher, I realized that I need to be flexible in maintaining good management in the class. Another study conducted by Zhang in 2022 emphasized that teacher behavior and teacher-student relationships play a crucial role in student well-being. Positive, trusting relationships help students feel safe, respected, and supported, leading to greater engagement, positive attitudes, and better learning outcomes. Teachers themselves also benefit from this, as strong relationships with students increase motivation, satisfaction, and teaching effectiveness. In a multicultural classroom setting like in Australia, it provides both challenges and opportunities. Bucks and Marathon in 2021, they show that cooperative learning activities incorporating students' heritage languages and family stories improved confidence, participation, and communication skill, as well as the sense of belonging in a culturally diverse classroom. Inclusive and culturally responsive practice will help enhance equity, learning outcomes, and classroom cohesion. This finding and my mentors' guidance offers me a wide range of resources. Furthermore, LifeForge module is also applied in my plan. This is not just a theoretical framework, but it is a practical framework, especially useful for pre-service teacher like me. It helps link classroom management theory with real-world application. This model shows me a clear structure for managing a classroom, from inputs such as my knowledge of managing strategies, personal educational philosophy, and prior experience. And during the filtering step, I adjust the strategies based on the specific classroom context, including student abilities, student with their special needs, and also the cultural diversity. Based on this information, I design a classroom management plan with proactive and positive strategies, such as setting rules, routines, reward systems, and ways to capture my student attention and effective groupings. During implementation, I will observe the output, including student engagement, focus, and well-being, as well as their confidence and effectiveness, and then reflect and adjust the plan to better meet the class needs. The LifeForge module not only helps me to understand why management strategies are important, but also provides specific guidance on how to apply them. It also supports professional development, enhances management skills, and improves learning quality. All of these elements will ensure that students feel safe, respected, and encouraged within a classroom environment is run under a thoughtfully designed classroom management plan. That is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening so far, and I would like to send this video as well as my reference list into LearnLine. Please have a look at it. Thank you very much. Goodbye.